Yes, now, I have been charged on pain of excruciating pain to be very, very short with this. But let me just... I have reached the crux. The point is, tonight we are going to attempt somehow to bring back to life what we've done is put together a kind of a virtual episode of A Bit of Fry and Laurie that never was. It should be just over an hour and contain all sorts of filth. Well, of course, that's what we're here for, isn't it? And so, I would like to welcome to the stage my colleagues for this evening, my abettors. Abettors.
You're right first.
Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, very importantly, I'd like to welcome to the stage a chap who I was in a comedy marriage with for 8 years. And this is the first time that we performed together in 10 years or something. Now he is a beloved and successful podcaster with Cheap Show, and also does lots of weird Mr. Biffo things like Digitizer. Everybody, put your hands rapidly together and apart for Boshens, Paul Gannon! That was great.
I'm not very happy with that.
Well, of course you're not.
There'll be notes afterwards.
If you were happy, you would not be yourself.
Yeah, true.
Yes, and also, as I said, I have the honour of being the official Douglas Adams biographer, and so that is how I got the pleasure of meeting our other acts this evening. I'd like to welcome them, well, they can come up together. It's Samantha, Béart, and Toby Longworth! Samantha, any fans of Doctor Who audio and Torchwood and Alien, you will know the golden voices of Samantha Béart. And as for Toby Longworth, he has a comedy career going back longer than mine. And he obviously is smart about fast and so many things in the Hitchhiker's Guide cast. And relevantly to this evening, anyone who remembers a certain show called Extras by somebody called Richard Gervais, you may remember that the good bit of that show took place in a toilet in which Ronnie Corbett and Stephen Fry were caught snorting coke in one of the cubicles. Caught by none other than Mr. Toby Longworth, who was also the actor on Fry's Planet Word. And
yes, that's right.
All the radio things. So we have proper Fry acting talent here with us this evening, apart from myself. So, the cast for this evening.
I'm talking myself, that's all right.
Wonderful. So it's slightly radio-esque, but we've got plenty of vox pops and weird sound effects, and we're just going to get started. But I just want to explain a little something about the very first item. But if you can imagine the BBC Two logo, that was how this first sketch would go. Every single episode of the series of A Bit of Fry and Laurie was going to start with a developing scenario between Stephen and Hugh and the announcer. So that's how we're going to start. So please do enjoy this show. Soupy Twists!
And now, live in London, it's time for a little bit of Fry and Laurie.
A bit of Fry and Laurie.
What?
It's a bit of Fry and Laurie. There's no little.
Oh.
It's not a little bit of Fry and Laurie. It's just a bit of Fry and Laurie.
Oh.
There really is no little. I know it seems trivial, but we've come this far. We may as well get it right.
But it says little here.
Well, that's a mistake. It should just be a bit of Fry and Laurie.
See, if I introduced you at a party as little Toby Longworth, you'd get a bit annoyed, wouldn't you?
Well, I suppose, yeah.
Well, because it's not your name, is it? It's Toby Longworth. There's no little.
And the same applies here, you see. It's the same principle.
A bit of Fry and Laurie.
All right, don't you start.
Well, I should have done this bit anyway.
Excuse me, Longworth. Do you know what this is?
It looks like a gun.
I suppose from some angles it does look a bit like a gun, because it's a gun. And if I pull this little bit here, small little bit of lead, comes out the other end in an enormous hole.
Right.
I think what my colleague is trying to say is that he's a bit disappointed and hopes you'll do better this time, because otherwise we may be entitled to pull off your leg and shove the wet end up your nose. Off you go.
And now it's time for a bit of French and Mortimer.
You're taking a piss.
No.
Do you want to do that again?
No.
Happy?
Well, no, but we may as well get on with it. Okay. Now, this is also going to come in very handy, because Fry and I were not great on punchlines. Okay. Good evening, ladies and non-ladies, and welcome to A bit of Fry and Laurie, except without Stephen Fry or indeed Hugh Laurie. But never the fewer, golly Moses, have we got a show for you tonight. There'll be singing and laughter and life ever after.
Well, I must say.
What must you say, my colleague? Do tell the ladies and guys.
Well, if I didn't know you any better.
Which you don't.
And I don't know you any better. No, but if I did, I would say you were exceedingly happy this evening.
Not far wide of the mark, Paul, my old mucker. You know my dog?
Not only don't I know your dog, I didn't even know you had a dog.
Ah, well, yes, I have. He's a golden retriever, and his name is Dachshund.
Dachshund? How does he smell?
Anyway, he got run over.
Run over?
By a lorry of the articulated persuasion. Squashed him absolutely flat.
No, I'm sorry to hear that.
What do you mean?
Well, it must have been very upsetting for you.
Oh, I see. Oh, no. This happened long before I bought it.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. A couple of hours, anyway. I mean, that's why I got him so cheap. I mean, a golden retriever in full working order, that's worth a couple of £100.
Really?
Want to know how much I paid?
Go on, then.
£5.
No!
Honest, £5.
That's incredible. So, where'd you keep the dog?
Oh, in the middle of the road. I mean, it's a bit difficult to move him, with all the traffic whizzing by past day and night. I mean, he's certainly not going anywhere on his own in that state, I can tell you.
So he's actually a dead dog?
Dead as a post, which is wonderful, because it means that in a week I will have got back what I paid for him in dog food that I haven't needed to buy.
And you paid the owner £5?
Well, not the owner, no. The Dachshund was being walked by a friend of the owner. I paid him the £5.
And that's what made you so happy this evening, is it?
What's made me happy, my colleague, is that I am here, the ladies and gentle boys are here, our sensual guests, Toby, Longworth and Samantha Béart are here, you are here, the weather is mild and friendly, I'm wearing my favourite trousers, around an hour of premium, never-before-suffered quality entertainment awaits. Everything is just tickety-boo. Don't you ever feel like that?
No.
No?
Especially when I'm wearing my least favourite trousers. I want to hear from a friend that the golden retriever I entrusted him has been run over and killed, and he has paid £5 for it, and not even had the decency to split the profits with me.
God, yeah, that must be really depressing. And talking of depressing, let's depress on with a jangle of unused A Bit of Fry and Laurie Vox Pops.
I get this terrible reaction when I eat chocolate. I get awful rashes all over my body and this odd greeny blue pus starts to leak from my armpits, revolting smell. And I get these terrible pains all up and down my legs. I sometimes just scream for hours with the agony of it. And then my liver fails altogether and I usually have to be rushed into casualty and have a drip put in my arm. And all the time I've got these headaches that makes me think my brain's going to explode. And I'm covered in pus, my liver gone, legs burning pain. And I say to myself, I couldn't half murder a Twix.
Well, you've got to have a sense of humour in this job or you wouldn't last 5 minutes. Yeah, I had a couple of Norwegians in here yesterday and they said, the Ritz, please. So I took them to the Ritz nightclub down Peckham. Left them there, in the middle of the estate. Killed almost immediately. It's a bit of fun, isn't it? Of course it is.
The local pizza delivery boy came round and I took one look at him and I said, never mind the super supreme. I'll take you just as you are, thin and crispy. And that's how we met. You could have knocked me down with a court order when I discovered he was my son.
My favourite film? What's that one where Julia Roberts plays a convent school fifth former who comes round to my house and mistakes my face for a chair? Or did I make that one up?
Well, my first name caused quite a bit of confusion. I was christened Gay, you see. A perfectly common name in the 1950s, but it's got connotations now, hasn't it? If I say, how do you do, I'm gay. So, I went to the deed poll place and I had it changed to rampantly homosexual.
I like foreign films best. I'm blind, you see, and so I can't enjoy the scenery, but it does mean I can laugh at their stupid voices.
I was an only child, as were my brothers and sisters. It can be hard.
I think the Queen does a ruddy marvellous job. Ruddy marvellous. I opened Parliament myself a couple of times in the 70s, and believe you me, it's not as easy as it looks.
Now, ladies and whelps, we would now like to present our first completely unperformed sketch from A Bit of Fry and Laurie. It is set in a supermarket, and the colleagues entitled it Shoplifting. Ladies and gentlemen, Shoplifting.
Excuse me, sir.
I beg your pardon?
Sorry, madam. Would you mind coming with me?
What for?
My colleague will explain that directly.
Well, I've got to All right, if you're quick.
Thank you, madam. Come on, in you go.
Tango 4, is it?
That's right, sir.
All right, Tango 4, suppose you tell me what we have here.
Well, sir, it looks like we've got a 1023 in our hand.
Will you let go of my arm?
1023, oh dear.
I hope this isn't going to take long.
A 1023 can take anything from 2 months suspended to 5 years, Mrs. King. All right, Tango 4, let's have your report.
Sir, as per your briefing instructions, I was positioned in aisle number 3 between the breakfast cereals and bread, operating in a mobile figure of 8 pattern around the frozen vegetables.
Textbook stuff, Tango 4.
Thank you, sir. I then observed the target loitering near the cocoa pots.
Look, this is completely ridiculous. I have to pick up my children at 4 o'clock, so if you don't...
You've done well, Tango 4.
Thank you very much, sir.
It's your first taste of action.
Oh, yes, sir.
Quite a feeling, isn't it?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, I remember my first 1023. 68 it was. I'd just joined up, still had my bum fluff. And then it happened. The smell of the handbag, the touch of my hand on the stolen tin, the blazing fear in the eyes as I clutched the shoulder of her plastic Mac and dragged her off down the aisle.
You married her then, sir?
I did, I married her. Yeah. I thought I could change her, but you can't change a 1023. No, they're wrong-uns to the core.
Look, I'm sorry to interrupt, but my children are waiting for me at school.
My advice to you, Mrs. King, is to pay a little more attention to your own problems just at the minute. Doesn't hurt to shake them up a bit early on.
It's a privilege to watch you work, sir.
Right. Oh, come on, my dear. Dry those tears. Would you like a hanky?
No, thank you.
Mind if I do? Hard then soft. You see, hard, soft, hard, soft. Now, I'm going to tell you a story, Mrs. King.
Oh, God.
It's about a woman. A woman who goes into a supermarket to steal some Cocoa Pops. But things don't quite work out the way she planned. So, to save herself, she spins this fantastic tale about some mysterious children that she has conveniently got to pick up from school.
Have you finished?
No, I haven't finished, you snivelling piece of crap!
Now, look here.
No, you look here. See that? See that? What do you think this is? They don't give these to just anybody either. Know what that means?
No.
Distinguished Service Medal from the Arndale Centre in Chippenham. They don't give these to just anybody, And look at that photo up there. Look, that's me, there, receiving a citation from the retail manager of Tesco's. And I quote, conspicuous alertness in the apprehension of a shoulder of lamb, New Zealand. Stolen lamb. Stolen Cocoa Pops. Comprendo!
All right, just let me look in my handbag.
Careful, sir, it's a trap!
It's a bloody receipt. Here, read it for yourself. Cock P 48 pence.
Have you got a receipt for this receipt?
Of course I haven't.
Ho, ho, ho!
Of course you haven't. No, of course you nicked it, didn't you?
Confess! Confess you come from a broken home!
Look, why don't you just call the police?
I shouldn't worry too much about the police, Mrs. King. A fine body of men, on the whole, but amateurs when it comes to this sort of thing.
Police? Ha 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 ha!
I could have joined the police if I'd wanted, Mrs. King. So could Tango 4 here.
Where do you mean to join them they were?
But in the end, I says to myself, Harry, my boy, you belong with the elite.
Good on you, sir.
Yes, thank you, Tango 4.
You pathetic pair of twerps.
I'm sorry?
You sad, crappy twerps. I'm leaving now.
Well, I'm afraid we've a long way from finishing yet.
Take that!
Oh!
And you take that as well!
Oh!
Goodbye!
Oh, yeah. You're probably wondering why I let her just walk out like that.
Well, she was probably innocent, sir.
Exactly. Knew it from the start. You get a nose for it after all.
Good hello. You know, in the old days, we used to call it courting. It's not a word you hear very often now. It's disappeared, along with front parlours, stepping out together, pressing one's suit, and Austin Sevens. Nowadays, shagging is a much more popular word. Shagging or doing it. But is it really the same for young people now?
Of course, I was massively ignorant. I knew absolutely nothing about sex at all. Clive and I had been to the cinema once, or TWICE, and then at the hunt ball, he went down on one knee. Very romantic in a way. I was shocked by how long it was, though. Clive hadn't warned me. It was the fashion for them to be long then, of course. 8, 9, 10, even 11 months some engagements were.
I'm afraid I was very much the traditionalist. I went down on one knee and then dictated the proposal which my secretary faxed over straight away.
In my family, these things were always arranged. My parents picked the boy when I was 3. And then my father arranged which film we would go to, at which cinema, even the make-up sheath he was to wear.
And there we leave this bit. A far cry from flowers and tea at the Cordova. Arthur.
Tom, old man, I couldn't help noticing you were a little down in the mouth earlier.
What? Yeah, sorry, no, I've got a thing.
Trouble at mill.
You could say that.
Want to talk about it? I mean, I'm nobody's Marge Proops, as you know, but if you think it would help...
Well, maybe.
Shoot.
Ever been in love, Dick?
Yes, I think I can say that I have been in love, yes.
Nasty bloody business, wouldn't you say?
It can be that, Tom. It can be all of that and a whole heap more, in my experience.
Take Jennifer. Nice enough creature.
Jennifer? Very nice. Niceness, 10 out of 10.
Attractive.
Definitely attractive, Tom. No getting out of that.
Got her own business. Doing very well.
Very well, so I hear. First quarter profits up 12 on last year.
Exactly. So now tell me this.
I'll do my best.
Why would a woman like that, a nice, attractive, successful woman like Jennifer, why would she refuse to dress up as a reindeer?
Sorry, Tom. I may have, misunderstood.
I'm not asking a lot, am I? I mean, tell me, is it that unreasonable to ask a woman that thing to do?
You asked Jennifer to dress up as a reindeer.
Yeah.
And she said no.
Turned me down, stormed out of the room as if I'd thrown my drink in her face. I mean, what's all that about?
Oh, it's a tricky one, Tom, and no mistake. Okay, but do you mind if we rewind a little?
How do you mean?
I want to take some back bearings here. I mean, why did you ask Jennifer to dress up as a reindeer? Can you tell me that?
Well, I thought that was obvious.
Tell me anyway. Christmas party? Fancy dress?
No! I just wanted to have sex with her in a reindeer costume.
I see.
Women, sometimes it seems as if they're from another planet.
Were you going to be dressed as a reindeer as well, Tom?
Sorry?
Were you both going to be dressed as reindeers? You know, you wanted to have sex as Mr. and Mrs. Reindeer.
Oh, Lord, no.
So you weren't...
No! I was going to be in my Alvin Stardust costume.
Aha.
With the spangly waistcoat and the puff sleeves.
Yeah. Gotcha. And when you proposed this, she just...
As if I'd spilled coffee all over her favourite mother.
I mean, have you ever... Hard to know how to put this. Have you ever got her to dress up as a reindeer before?
For what?
Well, ever before.
Well, there's got to be a first time for everything. She knew that the dolphin costume was at the cleaners.
Oh.
Usually she dresses up as a dolphin.
Don't be ridiculous.
Sorry.
I dress up as the dolphin. She dresses up as Mr. Rumbold from All You're Being Served.
She dresses up as Mr. Rumbold from All You've Been Served. That's the one
That's the one with the big ears, yes.
And you dress up as a dolphin.
Naturally.
But with a dolphin costume at the cleaners, you felt she couldn't stay dressing up as Mr. Rumbold from All You're Being Served.
Don't be disgusting. Of course not. Without the dolphin costume, it's pointless. But I find this lovely reindeer outfit nearly new, and I go for the trouble of getting together a fabulous Alvin Stardust costume, and she digs her heels in. Women! I mean, who can understand them?
I went to the garden centre and I asked for some clematis. Jacksoniensis I wanted for my south wall. The nice young man said that they didn't have any Jacksoniensis, but they did have some other varieties I might want to look at. And I said to him, "Blow it out of your arse, you pig-eyed sack of shit."
Peopled are the gardens that lie around my house. Trampled are the daffodils that lie in serried beds. Red are the coke tins strewn across my lawn. Sweaty are the breasts of the quickly breaking dawn. I've called that one Lines on the Advantages of Owning Geese, because they can be wonderful guard dogs, you know, geese, but then Alsatians can be splendid guard geese, so there's not much in it. Very difficult decision, very difficult.
I was very taken with the whole idea of Jurassic Park. Very taken. I went straight out the next day with a scalpel and a polythene bag, and I tried to get skin samples from all the old Radio 1 lot. DLT.
Batesy, Simon Mayo. I got most of them now, and I'm just waiting for the weather to turn.
This is the hand that performed the caloric irrigation on Clerkenwell. This hand has been right up there, and I haven't washed it since.
Well, I'm a mother of 7, although I realise I look older.
Well, you may believe that I'm presuming you are Fry Laurie fans being here, that you may think that you have seen or even know by heart every single A Bit of Fry Laurie headmaster sketch that ever there will be. But this is proof that you are wrong. In this sketch, I shall portray said headmaster, and Mr. Paul Gannon, who is situated right here, will take the lighter role of an idiot parent. Go you off now, Paul?
Okay, are you the headmaster?
Yes, I am. Good morning.
Is it?
Sorry?
Is it? Perhaps it is a good morning from where you're sitting. From my end of the room, it's a living hell of a morning.
Oh?
So I hope you don't mind if I reply, living hell of a morning.
No. Well, I'm sorry about that. Can I help you at all?
I hope so. I profoundly and earnestly hope so. I have come here to complain about the way you educate your children here.
I see. And what exactly is wrong?
Just about everything is wrong with it, Mr. Headmaster, sir, with your 18 weeks paid holiday, so why should you care?
All right. Could I have your name first?
Not likely.
I beg your pardon?
I'm not going to fall for that one. Do you want to know my date of birth?
Not really.
Well, it wasn't yesterday, I'll tell you that much.
I just asked your name.
Well, no, thank you, Mr. Headmaster, with a secretary to cater for your every whim and your own parking space with Headmaster written over.
Well, now, Mr.
Frame.
Did you say Frame?
No, I didn't actually. I sneezed, and when I sneeze, it sounds like Frame.
Mr. Frame.
Bless you.
If you have a complaint about how your child is being taught...
Oh, pardon me, hold on 1 second. A trap for the unworthy, or what is it?
What?
Oh, did I say I had a child? Did I give you that piece of information, Mr. Headmaster, with a nice semi-detached house with easy reach of shopping?
Well, no, but I assumed...
Oh, you assumed! Oh, a man of science, I'm not inclined to think.
Well, if you haven't got a child at this school, what are you complaining about?
I'm complaining about the things I was taught at this school.
You?
Indeed. I was a pupil at the school from the age of 11 to 15, and basically...
Yes?
I'm not happy the way I've turned out.
Hold on a minute.
Ah, yes, I thought that caused a ripple in your. You're
not happy with the way you've turned out.
Pond.
Sorry?
That is correct. I am not happy.
In what way?
Okay, so, these are my school reports from the summer term of my last year here.
William Frayne appears to be a happy and well-balanced young man, and I have no doubt that he will find success in any sphere he might choose. William Frayne has a lively mind and will do well for himself.
And so on and so on. Extravagant claims, I think you'll agree.
Well, yes, they seem to be fairly good reports.
Fairly good reports, yes. But here is the nub of my complaint.
Yes?
They failed to tally with the subsequent course of events.
In what way?
Do you know, I'd be fascinated to know how much you earn.
I beg your pardon?
20,000? 30,000?
I hardly think that it's...
I only ask because if all you have to do is sit there saying, in what way, when I think you've got quite a cushy little job.
Now, look!
Now, since leaving school, I have not made a success of any sphere, let alone a sphere of my choosing. I have stumbled from one sphere to another without encountering success in the smallest degree. There is, so far as I'm aware, there is no sphere I could convincingly call my own. I am, to all intents and purposes, sphereless.
I am distressed to hear this.
Are you? Well, you'll forgive me for saying so, but as I look across this lavishly extravagant desk, I don't see a man in distress. I see a man who almost certainly owns his own lawnmower and has more cufflinks than he knows what to do with. That's what I see.
I really don't see how I can be held responsible for the prognostic inadequacies of my predecessors.
Did you learn that sentence in English by any chance? Mr. Brand New Ford Orion with central locking and anti-lock brakes?
I meant I really don't see what I can do.
Ah, well there I have the advantage of you, in spite of all the fancy letters after your name.
I haven't got any letters after my name.
Oh. Got them in your name, though, haven't you?
Yes.
Well, it seems that your obligations are clear. You'll have to take me back and do the job all over again.
I beg your pardon.
You have failed to discharge your duties adequately, and I therefore demand satisfaction. I wish to be taught all over again.
Everything?
Everything except French. Français.
You were satisfied with the way you were taught French?
Comme ci, comme ça.
Very well, Mr. Fry. You'll begin on October the 13th.
October the 13th.
Sir.
October the 13th. Sir.
That's more like it.
Fantastic. You know it's true.
What is?
Happiest days of your life.
And from the happiest days of your life, let us turn to the melodramatic terror that is the long-forgotten story of the Falkling.
In this narrative, a rugged chap called Tanner bursts in on his old friend Randolph at the club, somewhere in Edwardian New Canesville.
Randolph,
Tanner, my dear friend.
they said I could find you here.
And who are they?
The who is not important. Neither is the they. All that matters is the Falkling.
The Falkling, my dear Tanner.
Oh, come on, man. We have but a matter of hours before the Falkling is out of the country. Where is it?
Steady yourself, Tanner. You are gabbling like a small, tired earwig.
If you'd seen what my eyes have seen these last weeks, you'd gabble yourself. But if you will give me the Falkling, then, and only then, will I sleep the sleep of the quite tired, knowing that this country is safe at last.
Suppose I were to tell you that the Falkling has already left.
Left?
And that as we speak, it is far across the Austrian border in the hands of men who know and appreciate its true worth.
Randolph, I would have to call you a damned liar.
Be careful, Tanner. I'm not sure I like your clothes.
I saw the Falkling with mine own eyes not 20 minutes ago. It was dirty, covered in straw and vomit, but it was the Falkling, all right. I'd stake my life on it.
Where was this? Speak, man, or I won't hear you.
Trafalgar Square.
Headed in which direction?
Towards Brighton!
If the Falkling gets to Brighton...
Exactly. Brighton is only 9 hours from London.
The Prime Minister...
Is due to speak in London this very evening.
He must be stopped.
Don't you think I tried?
Tanner, I'm telling you, if the Falkling is within 10 miles of Westminster when the Prime Minister rises to his feet, we'll be the laughing stock of England.
You're...
The world.
Wales.
Here's what we do. Procure a bicycle.
At this time of day?
You'll find that this piece of paper will open a few doors. Drive in the fastest car you can to Billingsgate. You should be able to find a bicycle there. Show them this chit. Procure your bicycle and pedal like a mad person with domestic problems towards Brighton.
You mean?
I mean, you must try and overtake the Falkling somewhere along the Brighton road.
The Falkling is fast, Randolph. It's travelling light. I don't know if I can do it.
Then wear a mask, but for God's sake, Tanner, the free world is depending upon you.
And you? What will you do in the meanwhile time?
I shall address the nation.
And if the nation refuses to listen?
Then we are all damned.
But Randolph...
Tanner.
Suppose the Falkling does get to Brighton without me overtaking it, and suppose, yes, just suppose it makes it to London in time for the Prime Minister's...
You're painting an ugly picture. A horrible, incompetent daub.
I know, but hear me right out. What can the Falkling do? Actually do. It's tired, we know that. It's lost weight and it's friendless and unfashionable. Suppose we just ride out the threat.
You're asking me to turn my back on everything I've ever believed in. You're asking me to gather up everything I value, place it in a large wicker basket, throw it over the side and watch it dash itself on the rocks below while I look on laughing and smoking and eating with a young goat at my elbow.
No, I'm saying sit tight and ride it out.
Well, it's too late now anyway. The Prime Minister will already be on his feet. He'll be speaking now.
If the Falkling is going to strike, it will be now. Listen.
My God, Tanner, but you're a cool hand. I've never seen anyone play a wilder hunch.
We've done it, Randolph. The Farkling's beaten, spent, exhausted. We won't hear from it again. We've won.
Have we? I do wonder. I have a feeling, Tanner, that we haven't heard the last of the Farklings.
Dun, dun, dun!
Well, that's one point of view, but we like to know what you think, so drop us a line using both sides of the paper only, telling us in not more than 10 countries what you think of the issues raised tonight here on the show, tonight on the show. We desperately want to know your opinions, your thoughts, ideas, views, suggestions, and anything else you got lying around in your head. If you haven't got a view, doesn't matter, just drop us a line anyway, saying you have no view at all, because we need to know this and we want to hear from you. The address is on page 296 of this week's Radio Times if you live outside London. If not, drop us a line. So drop us a line. Maybe address is anything you want, doesn't have to be right, just jot it down and stick it in your ear, but do it today.
Now, we've had a whole armpit full of letters from viewers since we started the show this evening. And they've all been asking whether they can join the Fry and Laurie fan club. And I'm afraid the answer is no, because there isn't one.
Wasn't one.
That's right, Macaulay. Not only wasn't there one, there also isn't there being one as well.
What a weaver of words you are, Jem.
Stephen Fry was. Stephen Fry is, of course, indeed he is. Anyway, what I mean to say is there wasn't a fan club, but now, over 30 years after the pilot and 23 years since the last episodes were recorded, there is one. Or rather, there are two.
Stephen and Hugh have got one each.
No, their legs have got one each.
Sorry.
One club is called the Fry and Laurie Left Leg Club, and the other is called...
Don't tell me. No, actually, you better tell me.
The Fry and Laurie Right Leg Club. For the frighteningly reasonable sum of £450 a month, you will be entitled to a yearly newsletter containing articles, profiles, photographs, competitions, crosswords, and in-depth interviews with the colleagues' right legs, which is guaranteed to bring peace of mind in a troubled world.
What extraordinarily good value for money this seems to represent. And does membership of the right leg automatically get you membership of the left leg club?
Sadly, no, Paul. We may be generous, but we're not nice.
Gotcha.
Membership of the Left Leg Club, however, is slightly cheaper at £390 a month.
Now, why would that be, I wonder?
Don't know. Marketing boys came up with it.
Interesting. Couldn't we get any of our grown-ups to do the marketing?
But anyway, if you join both clubs at once, you'll be entitled to a plain white T-shirt with Fry and Laurie's famous catchphrase on it. We will also send you a fully automatic Frank Windsor as part of this once-in-a-lifetime introductory offer.
Anyway, that's enough of merchandising news. Now on with the pitiless exploitation of gullible 15-year-old girls.
We now present a barrage of words under the title The History of Thought.
So, what we have, phenomenally, or as Gluckner would have said, non-ontologically, are objects. To our eye, discrete, separate objects. There is a space between. Somewhere at some interstices, some area of bordering, this apple stops being an apple and becomes that which is not apple, air, other matter, and so on. So here then are nominal phenomena: a chair, an apple, a man, a pencil caddy or desk tidy. Some organising law has arranged the atoms of each to cohere each to its own whatness, its quiddity, its essence. The apple does not bleed its appleness out, except as a smell. Its shape and form remain strobile and ineluctably, almost imponderably, appline.
Appline. Appline. Appline.
What Strelzing and to some extent Heilbronn maintained was that an apple had an ethical form that corresponds on a metaphysical plane to those Platonic forms or Aristotelian ethical codirectors I discussed earlier. Put simply, that means an apple can only be an apple.
Nothing else.
This desk tidy or pencil caddy can only be a desk tidy or pencil caddy. Functionally, of course, it can operate as a doorstop, paperweight, weapon, or erotic apparatus, or whatever, but is only itself. A man, however, and this is what Gustav Frimm meant by inequivalent binary otherness, a man can say,
I am an apple.
An apple, however, cannot say, I am a man. It is paramount that an apple is insensate yet organic.
I am a desk tidy or pencil caddy.
A chair is contingent with neither necessary nor sufficient in its inorganic concrete flux of interpenetrating intensity. It's, if you like, otherness.
I am a small sponge
sponge.
So, if insensate existence is predicated upon perception by the senses,
I am Libby Purvis's second best housecoat.
what existence is argued by the phenomenon of lying, of stating that which is not?
I am an attractive maisonette only minutes from the West End.
But ethically and intersensationalistically complete as the apple may be, its grasp upon actualness is in reality remote.
I am Desmond Lynam's father.
An apple can become a not apple, an object whose appleness can be called into question. And if I take a bite, the apple is less than it was. Part of the apple is now me. It's mixed with my saliva and will soon be sent in parts around my bloodstream where it will constitute me. It is the same with a man. What constitutes this man?
I am a packet of quavers that Gary Wilmot once sat on by mistake.
Not what he says, not this nose, this hand, this leg. They are part of the man, yet the man is nothing but those parts, although epistemologically segregate. So, when I sever his arm from his body like this...
I see you've now cut off your own arm, which is all well and good, but now I'm leaving.
Leaving? But there's another 480,000 words of this.
Never mind, let's see what the other two are talking about.
Oh, crap.
Bloody politics.
What?
Politics. Bloody crap.
Yeah, and politicians.
Yeah, crap.
Total bloody crap.
I saw Roy Hattersley at Paddington Station the other day.
What a crap station.
Complete crap. Crap man,
Yeah.
crap station. They're all the same.
Man.
Stations.
Oh yeah, totally crap.
Like the roads.
Oh, absolute crap. Roads are absolute crap.
Absolute crap.
Full of crappy cars.
Cars are such crap.
With crappy people driving them.
Utterly crappy people.
People are crap.
Yeah, they are. People are crap. They're like animals.
Now, they are really crap animals. I mean, giraffes.
Crap.
Crappy long necks.
Yeah, complete crap. Crap colour, too.
Yellow. The crap colour.
Absolute crap colour.
The crappiest colour.
Plants.
Oh, don't even.
I mean, have you ever seen a plant that wasn't crap?
Never. Not one.
Crap from start to finish.
Doesn't matter, they are.
Yeah, of course it doesn't. Because everywhere they are is crap.
Everywhere. Every place on this planet is crap.
Crap planet.
Absolutely. Completely crap planet. Crap solar system.
Crappiest solar system in the world. What's not crap, would you say? Can you think of anything that's not crap?
No. Apart from us.
Well, we're not crap. No, we're not crap, are we?
Well, there you are. No, of course not. Well, there you are.
What? I am crap?
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. You're crap.
Me? I'm not crap.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Look, let's not argue about it.
No, all right. Arguing's crap.
Complete crap.
Yeah.
So's agreeing.
What?
Agreeing's crap too.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. Anyway, balls to this.
Where are you going?
I'm going to have a bowel movement.
Ladies and gentle ladies, a very distressing thing has happened. Earlier on today, I left a £5 note in the hip pocket of a pair of trousers hanging in my dressing room. I went back a few minutes ago, and the £5 note was still there, but the trousers had gone. Vanished. So, trouserless as I am, I called for David Toby, forensic psychologist. David, you've examined the scene of the crime. What did you find?
I found an incredible variety of jellies, mostly water-based.
Oh, yes, of course. But what definite conclusions about the trouser thief? Have you profiled him?
I'd say it's almost certain that he's male, in his late 40s, early 90s, that he has at some time held high office in government, probably the Home Office, and that he walks with a slight lisp.
That is incredible. You've managed to glean all that from the clues.
Oh, the only thing I can't factor in is the water-based jellies.
I could go to the police and I could say, hey, an elderly ex-cabinet minister has walked off with my trousers.
Yes. I wouldn't say, hey.
No. All right. Wendy.
Stupidly, I left my personality propped up against a radiator overnight, and now it's warped.
Got to work at marriage, that's my view. It's not an easy thing. Got to work really hard at marriage. That's why we got divorced.
In our village, there's marvellous old game we play every Lammas Eve. Tradition has it that all those living in the village on state pensions have to dress up as bales of straw, and then the rest of us split up into packs of 12 in four-wheel drive vehicles, and we have to hunt them down and beat them to death with fence posts. I'm not absolutely sure of its origins. Something to do with the Conservative Party, I believe.
I only know one, I'm afraid. How many cabinet ministers does it take to change a light bulb? 3. Seems rather a lot to me, but there you go.
Big ones, small ones, thin ones, fat ones, stiff ones, floppy ones. Ones that hang to the left, ones that hang to the right. I'm talking, of course, about penises. What are they for? They expel waste fluids from the male bladder. They serve as a conduit in the process of insemination. But what else? You can't drive them. You can't live in them. You can't wear them. You can't borrow money for them at any rate, never mind favourable ones. So, all in all, what good are they? I wrote to the Duchess of Kent to find out. I haven't received an answer yet, but here's a sketch involving a psychiatrist, which may make things clearer, but probably won't.
The main problem, Doctor, is
Call me Jonathan.
Right. The main problem, Jonathan, is that I'm just so damned... I don't know what the word is. Insecure. I can't relate to people. I'm too nervous, too neurotic.
You're neurotic.
That's it. I don't know whether it's because of school or my parents or what, but I'm shy and fumbling when it comes to girls.
Girls. Do you have a problem relating to women?
No kidding. I go red in the face, I stumble, I stammer, I knock things over.
Any vomiting?
Vomiting? No. I'm fortunate in that respect, but otherwise...
Yes, well, it seems to me very clear what your problem is here. Your problem is that you're nervous, neurotic, insecure, particularly when it comes to girls. You stammer, you stumble, and knock things over.
I see.
You knock things over, you blush.
Right.
And you don't actually vomit, but in other respects you have a problem.
I understand.
All right.
That's it, is it?
I think so.
Can you help me?
I just have, haven't I? I've identified the problem for you.
Is there any chance you can make it go away?
Oh, yes, no. One of these little yellow pills should do the trick.
Yellow pill? Oh, really? I mean, you don't have to talk about my relationship with my mother or anything like that?
Oh, good Lord, no. Not unless you want to.
No, I don't know. So I just take these little yellow pills and I won't be neurotic or insecure anymore?
That's right.
Now, if we had the miracle of television, we would now cut to a special, typical early 1990s cocktail bar, but we don't, so you just have me saying this instead. And I will be the barman.
Nice work.
Oh, you sir?
I should like a half pint of bitter beer, please.
Righto.
I say, see that woman who's just headed over to the ladies? Most attractive girl.
Yes, she is, isn't she? Yeah.
I'm very taken with the idea of escorting her out for a meal, walking her home, and spending the night in a bed with her.
Well, right.
I must ask and see if the idea appeals to her.
Well...
You seem doubtful.
Oh, she's a bit forbidding, wouldn't you say?
Nonsense. Here she is. Hi.
Hello.
I was just saying to this excellent example of British barmanhood here, how attractive you are, and what pleasure it would give me to take you to a restaurant, walk you home, and spend the night in a bed with you.
I beg your pardon?
The scheme I have laid out roughly in my own mind is that our bodies would commingle in some form of carnal union, such as might be most pleasing to you. My own preference would be to introduce my membrum virile into any part of your body as might most welcome it.
Membrum virile?
His knob.
The tapster has it in a nutshell. My knob would be delighted to insert itself in such a way as might afford the most...
Hang on. Are you trying to get me into bed?
It really would give me the most enormous pleasure, and I think I can promise that you won't find it unexciting yourself.
And that's it, is it? No flowers, no talk about what sort of person I am, no getting to know me?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm sorry, I don't know your name.
Carol.
I'll be honest with Carol. I'm a man, and you know what we men are like. For the moment, I'm not particularly interested in your personality, your hobbies, your job, your mind, anything like that at all. I'm much more interested in entwining myself around that rather splendid young body of yours and spending myself into it. It's possible that we could be friends, and that I would grow to like you. But just for a moment, I am driven more by consideration of lust than by those of friendship.
Wow, you're honest, I'll give you that.
Life's too short to be anything else, Carol.
I have to say that the idea of your body grunting and sweating on top of mine is something that I don't find particularly appealing.
No?
No. After a few nights at the cinema, a dinner or two in a restaurant, and some time shared walking along a beach or on the Big Dipper at a fun fair, I might feel differently.
You can imagine that this is a bit of a blow to me. I had imagined a more physical relationship involving tightly clamped thighs and
Yes?
Just a moment. I need to go have a pill. Oh God, no! I've spilled the water.
Have one of mine. They wear off quite quickly, don't they?
Sorry. Can I have another half pint of bitter beer, please?
Never mind that, mate. I'm having one of those pills. Hey, Carol.
Yes?
Late night film on round the corner. Why don't we go and check it out?
Oh, right, that would be lovely.
Then obviously a walk along the beach would be nice, a ride on the Big Dipper, and afterwards a romantic candlelit shag.
Super.
There's lovely. Now, let's posit, everyone in this room, let us all posit a situation in an office of some kind in which Samantha here plays a woman who is working intensely with a ruler and a rotary pen over a design desk. And we'll see how this situation develops.
Thank you. I'm just doodling here, but I'm pretty confident this is the right direction to go.
My, what do we have here?
Oh, hello, just working on the...
Well, for goodness sake, my old darling, don't let me stop you.
No, it doesn't matter, I was just...
Oh, is this one of your own?
Yes.
Well, Jerry!
No, please don't tell anyone.
Oh, what do you mean, don't tell anyone? Jerry!
No, it's just a doodle. Honestly, I had a bit of time and I thought I'd...
Kathy. It is Kathy, isn't it? Yes,
always
it's
Kathy.
always Kathy. Let me tell you, always Kathy. Some of my best ideas have come as a result of just doodling. I don't know if you remember the...
Yo, Peter.
Oh, Jerry! For hell's sake, come and have a look at this.
Wowzings.
Wow. What do you think? I was just strolling past and...
My. What are we looking at here?
Well, nothing, really.
Well, she says she's just having a bit of a doodle.
Well.
Told you.
Tim!
Please!
Tim, get over here, have a look-see. Well, let me tell you, Kathy, it is Kathy, isn't it? Some of my best ideas have come to me while I was just having a bit of a doodle.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I said exactly that.
My.
Exactly.
One of Kathy's doodles.
That is some doodle.
Is it not?
Well, I don't really know if it's up to much.
Up to much.
Hey, let us worry about that, darling.
We'll take care of the worrying on that score, my little yumpot. You just carry the hell on.
You're on a roll, Kathy. Hang on in there.
Peter speaks for all of us, my pet. You're on strike. Don't throw the bat away now.
Right. Well, are you going to,
Are we going to help you, Kathy? This is your doodle. You run with it.
Just remember, my precious, that we're here to catch you if you fall.
No, it's just I'd rather you weren't watching, if you don't mind.
Mind? Of course we don't mind, my old plate of gorgeous.
Couldn't mind less.
We'll just back off and let you breathe.
Thanks. What?
What?
What's wrong?
Nothing's wrong, my precious old lavender thermos. Nothing at all.
Well, one of you just went...
No, not me.
No, not me neither. No.
Look, just keep it down there, boys and girls. Kathy's trying to play some hardball in here, and it's very hard if you keep going. Oh, all the time. Go you on.
Oh, no.
What?
Well, I was just thinking that if you made it curved instead of a right angle...
Peter!
I'm sorry, I just thought...
Peter, what the hell are you doing? Kathy's running with the doodle. Let her play with it her way.
Sorry, Jerry, you're absolutely right. Sorry, Kathy.
That's all right.
I'm sure that in her own time, Kathy would have decided in her own sweet way that she needed a curve instead of a right angle. Isn't that right, Kathy, my dream lover?
And the curve ought to be a little bit flatter than the way she's just drawn it.
Well, look, I think
think I may have run out of steam here.
Nonsense, my minuscule honey dream. Stick at it.
I didn't spoil your doodle, did I?
No, really, I think I'll just leave it for a while. Maybe something will occur to me.
You sure, Kathy? My precious atomic carriage clock? Us man types haven't driven you away.
No, honestly, bye.
Okay then, up to you.
Give me that pen.
No, I'll have it.
Give me that! Get your hands off that doodle, you bollocks! Right, okay. Okay, let's kill that sketch right there. Let us now posit that the scene of unspeakable bloody violence that sketch was about to turn into is instead a film that a particularly horrible couple were watching on TV full of guns. Click.
If you want to watch that kind of thing, you can get a video out when I've gone to bed.
Shut your face, you stupid tart.
Don't call me a tart, you fat slob.
Stick it between your thighs, woman. I'm watching this.
Give me that.
Sod off, woman.
You bastard, you foul, cruel, mean, disgusting bastard.
Temper. You're turning into your mother. That's your problem.
My mother? Don't talk to me about my mother. At least she doesn't drink a pint of gin a day like certain people's mothers. At least she's not a drunken hag of a bitch.
Up your flap, you pathetic cow.
Ding dong.
Get the door, cow bitch.
Get it yourself, pig ass.
Hello.
Who the bag of puss are you?
Sergeant Derek Hopkins, Metropolitan.
Oh, police.
Niceness police.
You what?
Niceness police. We like people to be nice. We received a call from Mark and Samantha, your two lovely little children, just now. They told us you weren't being nice. Popped in to see if I could help in any way.
Look, why can't you mind your own business, for Christ's sake? Bog off out of it, can't you?
Give him a chance, dance, since he's,
Oh, will you shut your bleeding neck, you daft whore?
Whoops. There we are already. You are not being nice, and that's a pity. I mean, we don't say daft warthog, we say my beloved.
Look.
And we don't say shut your bleeding neck. We say that's a very interesting point.
If you don't get out of it.
Now let's put those together, can we? That's a very interesting point, my beloved. Go on, say it, old fella.
I'm not going to say.
Just to please me.
Why the hell should I do that then?
No.
And then you'll go.
Certainly, I'll leave when you started being nice to each other.
That's a very interesting point, my beloved.
Well, now, that didn't sound very sincerely meant, but I'll let it go for the time being. Now, Mark and Samantha tell me it all started with the television, is that right?
He wants to watch Hard to Kill.
Damn right, I do, and I'm gonna.
And you'd like to catch up on the EastEnders?
That's right, Derek. No much to ask, is it?
Well, now, here's my scheme. Why not simply turn it off? You what? Simply turn the silly old thing off, invite Mark and Samantha in, and have a jolly game of Spillikins or Hunt the Slipper. What do you say to that?
I say, snot off out of it before I set fire to you, you creepy little turd. That's what I say.
No, Don, you don't actually. You say, there's an interesting idea.
And there indeed is an interesting idea for a sketch, if only it had a punchline.
Oh, you old traditionalist, Toby.
I know.
Well, never mind. There is a sense in which Paul is, I believe now, going to read us all a poem entitled The Silence of Noise. There's also a sense in which Toby and Samantha have very kindly agreed to offer their views. Off you go.
Thank you.
Have you started?
No, I'm just...
Oh, all right, sorry. Off you go. When? Samantha, there's a sense in which he's begun his poem with when. Did that seem like a worthwhile opening? Did when capture the imagination?
Not really, no. I was disappointed, tired, nauseated by this opening. As soon as I heard the "weh," I knew we were going to be in for an N. And it all seemed just so predictable, really.
Tobes, is there a sense in which you predicted it?
Well, of course, and there's also a sense in which I predicted you asking me that question, and yet another sense in which I predicted my answering, of course.
Paul, in a sense, carry on.
When
Toby, I. Is there a sense in which I helps us to understand anything at all whatsoever? Are we wiser for that I? Or is it a tired, weary old chestnut?
Chestnut.
Chestnut! Okay, well, that's enough poetry for one lifetime anyway. We would now like to go over to a sketch called The Seven Functioning Arses of Maxwell Furnet. But sadly, Fry and Laurie never actually wrote one, just the title, The Seven Functioning Arses of Maxwell Furnet. So instead, here are Samantha and Toby saying some words.
Toby, notice anything unusual about me?
You're not picking your nose?
No, not that.
You're wearing odd trousers?
No.
Your ears are a different colour. You've had your nipples enlarged. I don't know.
Well, take a closer look. Exactly.
That's incredible.
Isn't it?
Well, how did you...
David Bowie put me onto it.
Wow, I think that's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant.
Well, the amazing thing is, it'll never come off.
What, never?
Never. And it doesn't stink.
It doesn't stink?
Well, except at first.
How many are there?
9, all told.
And they all make the same noise?
They all make the same noise.
Brilliant.
But if you don't clean them out fairly regularly, they'll start to, you know.
Smell?
Yes, smell.
Smell. And on that smell, I think it's time for a very quick link, because you see, I've been sorting through some of my old house shirts. As you see, there's quite a pile here. And I was thinking how each shirt had a story to tell, if only it had a tongue, and of course a larynx and some sort of rudimentary brain with active speech centres. This shirt, for instance, is an ordinary breakfast shirt, still as serviceable as the day it left the factory in Thirsk. The once fashionable marquee collar, Lombardy buttons, half-chased tail, and a common enough full chemise flute cut. Nothing remarkable about this, obviously. Just another good quality activity shirt, really. But it's nothing to fax home about. And yet, this is the exact shirt I was wearing one oh-so-mild day in late April when I appeared in a sketch written by one Stephen Hugh and a Mr. Laurie Fry, which they called Etiquette, and never performed. And we were wondering if you could all now work out why.
Onward, my love.
Yes?
Must you belch so?
Belch?
Belch, keck, retch, repeat, burp.
What's wrong with burping?
Scarcely etiquette, is it, old dear?
Bugger etiquette.
Have you ever wondered, Arnold, my lovelet, why it is you earn £1,000 a month as a shorthand cook, while I am regarded as one of the most promising psalmists of my generation?
No, why is it?
Etiquette, manners, style.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. What do etiquette, elan, brio, and panache all have in common?
They're all available in eau de toilette or original perfume spray.
They're all passports to success, Arnold. Look, try this. Say after me. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain.
In Dangoland, it mostly pisses down on the flat bits.
Oh dear. Oh dearie.
Are you saying I'll never make something of myself unless I speak better?
It's not just that, Arnold, my pleasant. Do you remember yesterday when I sent you when? Do you remember yesterday when you and I stopped off at the Castle Hotel to relieve ourselves? As we entered, somebody came out of a cubicle. Do you remember how you greeted him?
Did you make that horrible stink?
Exactly. Was that polite, Arnold? Did this put the unfortunate gentleman at his ease? Do you feel like you made a friend of him?
But it was an horrible gaff.
Horrible or otherwise, as the guff may or may not have been, Arnold, you showed a distressing lack of etiquette. You'd have passed it off with like, Mark, good morning, sir. Fine traffic we are having at this time of year. Something like that.
Right. Oi!
Yes?
Good morning, sir. Fine traffic we're having for the time of year. Bo!
I don't mind growing old. You know, one or two things I miss, I suppose. I can't stoop to weed the garden so much as I used to. Nor can I quite bend down enough to take it from my husband. Which is frustrating, because we've always preferred it that way. Buggery laws or no buggery laws.
I was born in 1917, and my grandmother, whom I remember as clearly as it were yesterday, was born in 1848. Wonderful lady she was. Her advice to me was, remember this, Rose, she would say. All men masturbate. All of them, without exception. I've never forgotten that. And now when I look at the cabinet or some of those weathermen, I don't feel so queasy.
Well, we had this big argument. I wanted to send the children to private school, but Derek wanted to spend the money on building a conservatory. In the end, we compromised and decided to go see Les Miserables.
Of course, it's well known that Shakespeare didn't really exist. And if he did, he was lots of people, and they were all women. And all his plays were written by Alan Bleasdale. And Shakespeare shot Kennedy, and Lee Harvey Oswald was nothing but a pansy. They don't put that on Newsnight, though, do they?
Pants first, always pants first. Then socks, then shirt, then trousers, then tie, then jacket. And sometimes a hat if I'm really hungry.
We had this thrush nesting in the gutter outside our window, kept us awake for weeks. In the end, I opened the window and I poured natural yoghurt all over it.
As I travelled round the country giving speeches and replacing lengths of guttering in high buildings, I have become increasingly distressed at the ignorance and prejudice that seems to surround this whole business of sucking. There used to be such a dynamic nation, a nation of skill and of know-how, of determination and vision. The rest of the world used to look at us for a lead on sucking, and we were happy. Proud, I should say, to give it. Now, well, you can ask the average Briton to suck something for you in the street, something even quite small like a hedge. But it's like they'll just shrug their shoulders and move on. And that's sad. Terribly, terribly sad.
I'm very worried that the country is moving to the right. Either that or my bedroom's moving to the left. Now, ladies and fatsos, it may surprise you to learn that that joke was entirely improvised 25 years ago.
Bad luck.
Bad luck? What do you mean, bad luck?
I mean, you know, that not being very funny.
What?
It didn't get much of a laugh.
Fry and Laurie did not always do laugh humour, as you well know. Theirs is the ultimate sort of internal smile humour.
Didn't get much of a smile either, though, did it?
Yes, all right, okay. But it just so happens that they took risks. They did things that perhaps other comedians wouldn't dare do, and sometimes, you know...
We're not completely funny at all.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I wouldn't take those kind of risks. I have to protect myself.
I hope you're going to explain to the ladies and fellas what the frig it is that you're talking about.
I protect myself. I am insured.
Insured?
Yeah, I took out a policy with the Scottish Prudential Mutual Provincial Mutual Widows Assurance Union that covered me against the risk of doing a sketch that isn't funny.
Like this one right now?
Well, yes. If, say, when I say this funny name, it turns out not to be funny, I just write it off in a claim form. In 3 weeks' time, I get a big fat cheque through the post.
What funny then?
Giles Brandreth.
So, you should ideally get a great big cheque from the Scottish whatever then.
Well, no, because all this is Codstung that was written by Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie decades ago.
Ah! So we are, effectively, entirely innocent of not being funny.
Never that. No. Let's see what the others can do. Anyway, here's a sketch that the dear colleagues called Play for Today. And go.
Richard, you're back.
No, I'm not.
Richard.
I'm still on the motorway. Traffic's terrible and I won't be here for another half an hour.
Richard, please. We have to talk, you and I.
Yes, I had a marvellous day at the office, thank you, my darling wife.
I'm sorry, Richard, but I'm leaving you.
I beg your pardon.
I'm leaving you. I can't take it any longer.
Can't take it any longer. Can't take what any longer?
Us. What's become of us?
I see. And what has become of us, my little prairie oyster?
Maybe we've grown apart, Richard. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we've grown up. We've changed, or maybe the world's changed and we've stayed the same.
Bravo! A beautifully executed speech. Now, perhaps you'd care to drop this charade and tell me what's for supper.
There isn't any supper, Richard. There will never be any supper again. I'm leaving you.
No supper? Ever again? I see. Does that include frozen pizzas?
Damn it, Richard. Will you stop this bloody torture? Listen to me. It's over. Finished. Our marriage is a farce. It's been a farce ever since you went to Stockholm.
Stockton, my darling. I went to Stockton.
Whatever.
Well, there we have it, don't we? That little whatever, as you called it, happens to have paid for our new garage, from which you derive, let's face it, enjoyment and enhanced standing within the local community.
I don't mean to run you down, Richard. I know how much your work means to you, but there are other things.
Apart from garages, you mean?
Yes.
Name them.
Such as love, such as friendship, such as thought and expression, such as, oh, I don't know.
Well, let me suggest one. Such as getting soaked while you're trying to unload the car, do you mean? Such as not having anywhere to keep the stepladder. Well, you takes your money and you pays your You're twisting my words now.
I'm not twisting anything, Richard. It's you. It's you, can't you see?
I'll tell you what I see. I see a bloody hard day's work. I see getting home to have to face a lot of hysterical, slappity-flappity fip-hell about you leaving me, and I also see another bloody takeaway, which, I might add, will be the 23rd Chinese meal I've eaten this week.
Have you finished?
No, I haven't bloody finished!
Well,
All right, I have finished.
this is Vernon.
What is? Hi, where the bloody hell did you spring from?
Vernon teaches abuse counselling at the technical college. He's also my lover.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's just beautiful.
You're upset, aren't you?
Upset, 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 upset. Of course I'm upset. There are only 2 spring rolls. Who's going to have to go without? Only the man who buys you carriages, I suppose. Great!
That one was positively hilarious.
Yeah, but it didn't go anywhere, did it?
Well, do we have to go anywhere? Maybe it didn't, but sadly, ladies and dirty old men, unlike half of these precious never-performed sketches, this evening's book launch entertainment has to go somewhere, and that is to the end. Time that ultimate shitter has tweaked our collective lips once again. And so this will be our very final exclusive A Bit of Fry and Laurie sketch that we offer you. It's set in a sort of council-type building, and it stars Samantha Béart as the receptionist person, and it's called Deed Poll.
Harry Smell. Miss Harry Smell. Room 3, please. Gerald Fat Curtain. Room 6. Mr. Fat Curtain, room 6. Wendy Arse. Room 7. Michael Prettycock. Room 2. Michael Prettycock, room 2.
Hello, thank you.
Goodbye then, Mr. Fraser.
Oh, Fraser, yes, thank you so much. Fraser. Yes, it's wonderful, yes, wonderful. Goodbye, and thank you again.
Right then. Always happy to have a fully satisfied customer. Right, now, good afternoon. It's Mr. Prettycock, isn't it?
Michael Prettycock, yes.
Yes, and you'd like to change that?
Well, yes.
Yes. Well, I'm not sure quite what we've got left. You catch us at rather a busy time. Did you have any particular name in mind?
I've always fancied something good and plain, like Sergeant or Davies or Sterling.
Ooh, well, they very rarely come up, I'm afraid.
That last gentleman was Fraser.
Mr. Turdlap, as was, yes. He got the last of our phrases there. If it's Scottish you want, I do have a McNulty.
No, not really.
No. Well, I really am awfully afraid you've caught us at absolutely our busiest time. Stock's running appallingly low. Only 7 names available, I'm sorry to say.
7? All right, what are they?
Well, McNulty you've already turned down. I have a price, if that's any use to you.
Oh, no price? Oh, that's perfect.
Well, yes. Now, well, it would be, but unfortunately it comes with a Christian name attached. You see, I can't separate them. They must be sold as one.
Okay, well, I hadn't really reckoned on changing my first name, so just what is it?
Botty.
Bottom price. No, I don't think so.
No. So, moving on, what have we? Did you just fart?
Sorry?
That's the next name. Did you just fart?
I don't think the wife would go for that.
No, okay, probably not. Pretty much a specialist name, to be honest. What's next? Major.
Major? You out of your mind?
Oh no, we're never going to shift that one, are we? Even in the 21st century.
Topical.
Right, now, how about sex?
Sex? Lord, no. Terrible name.
It's just an honest inquiry. My flat's only 2 minutes walk away. No. All right, just moving on. Butler.
Butler? Yeah, Butler. Yes, I like that.
You do?
Yes.
Excellent.
Michael Butler. Oh, nice.
There is one drawback, however.
Oh.
Yes, it's a rather unusual spelling.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it's B-U-T...
Yeah.
T-O-C-K.
Butter.
Pronounced Butler, so the vendor assures me.
Oh, dear. Right, how many left?
Just 2 more. Sure I can't tempt you to a quick blowjob under my desk?
I've told you I really don't go for that kind of thing.
No, that's a name again.
Sure I can't tempt you to a quick blowjob under your desk? is a name.
Sure, I can tempt you to a quick blowjob under my desk.
Right, it's very tempting.
Unusual, but rare.
Again, it's a question of the wife and children. I mean, the teasing's bad enough as it is, and no, so best not. All right, what's the last on your list?
Hitler.
Great.
So I'm really sorry, Mr. Prettycock. It looks like we can't help.
Those really are the only names you've got left.
Sorry.
Look, I was prepared to pay anything. It's just not my lucky day.
Pay anything?
Yeah, I've been saving up for a new name for the past 15 years. £12,000 I was going to lash out in a good one.
Well, there's always my name. You're welcome to that.
Oh, I see. It's written on your desk. Jefferson. Jefferson. Oh, that's ideal.
You like it?
Yeah, I like it. It's absolutely wonderful. Jefferson.
Cash, please. Thank you. And here's the deed. Just sign here and here.
Okay, all right. And there you go.
Sign here.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Me too. Excuse me just a moment, won't you? I have to,
Okay.
Oh, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. Peter Jefferson.
Yeah, he's just popped out.
I'm sorry?
Peter Jefferson has just popped out.
No, I'm Peter Jefferson.
Oh, no.
How can I help you, Mr. I'm sorry, I don't know your name.
It's written here. Uglycock. Michael Uglycock.
Heterosexuals, I don't know, they're all the same to me. Heterosexuals, bisexuals, they're all bloody queers, aren't they?
Damnedest thing, I was in this hardware shop the other day buying a 30-gallon drum of car wax for my daughter-in-law when the door burst open and 30 coppers come lumbering in and arrest everyone. The place turned out to be a brothel. Quite unbelievable. I mean, it said brothel outside it, but I just thought that was a joke.
We are living in a country where the clergy don't believe in God, where cabinet ministers can't manage to sleep with the same person 2 nights running, where American women are allowed to talk in loud voices, and where our princes and princesses are daily vilified by men with fat stomachs. And you dare to tell me that it's Great Britain? It's pathetic Britain, that's what it is. Pathetic Britain, the United Dictum. And England, don't make me howl with laughter, it's not England, it's Shetland. Thank you for asking.
Bless. My wife went on holiday the other day.
Jamaica?
Yes, very forcefully. But Tina and May, having a wonderful time apparently.
Well, that's the absolute climactic amount of verbal felching that anybody could expect to put up with in one evening, everybody. I'm surely that's the case.
Yes, indeed, and every single word totally unperformed until this moment.
And probably never to be performed again.
Yeah, hopefully never to be performed again.
But I would like to say a disgustingly, oleaginously sincere thank you, first of all, to the colleagues themselves, Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie, for gifting me this remarkable material, unseen for decades, and allowing us this evening to give it a first ever airing in this way. And of course, who could possibly forget, huge licking thanks must go to the wonderful Paul Gannon, Samantha Béart and Toby Longworth here. For assisting me in the launch of this official birthday celebration, and of course, to lead us up to the earth-shattering finale, which is the name of the book without an extra S. I should invite you all now to choose a very final ersatz non-official Fry and Laurie cocktail to end on.
Yeah, but we can't really, can we?
Yeah, because Stephen Fry Hugh Laurie never left behind any amusing or unusual cocktail names for us to nick and perform.
Oh, yeah. Still, never mind, Jem. What we would like is 4 foaming mugs of sophisticated silliness, otherwise known as Soupy Twists.
Soupy Twists!
Soupy Twists!
You have chosen frivolously, young Padawan. But nevertheless, for Soupy Twists, you need 2 tall, long-fingered, undeniably privileged but deeply lovable white male comedians. 1 straight, 1 slightly curved. A record-breaking Cambridge footlight show, a classic historical sitcom, an ITV adaptation of some of the finest humorous books in the English language, and of course, perhaps the funniest, silliest sketch show in the history of world comedy without a Welshman in it. Leave to fester for at least 23 years of solo projects, brilliant novels, fake doctors, blues tours, intelligent quiz shows and Hollywood stars, and then write for around 1 year, crowdfund from a lot of very kind and intelligent and wonderful pledges. and print onto paper by an ever so Islington book publisher, all of whom I thank from my very bottom.
Dear, all we've got here, though, is some cheap plonk and a cocktail shaker.
Oh, I see, yes, it's just that there, isn't it? Our cocktails this evening, what have we got instead then? We've got some creme pêche. Some creme pêche. This is for people who have pledged, who are going to drink some of this stuff. Creme pêche from the warmest areas of Europe. Finest Somerset blackberry gin, and some old limes, and all sorts of lashings of
Jem.
ever so... Yes, Macaulay.
Will you shut your head?
He's quite right with that, of course. You know, I have to be shut up, really. And anyway, in that case, if the area is cleared for this, I'm going to leave it to you three wonderful colleagues of mine to kick off our final sing-song with, and I do apologise, we could have had a full grand piano, we could have hired Hugh Laurie to come here and play it, but instead we have what I like to call the weapon of hipster doom right here, otherwise known as the ukulele. So, I want you three now to kick off our final sing-song with the totally unmagical words.
Mr. Music, will you play?
Go on then. 2, 3, 4. I got sophisticated hands, I got sophisticated feet, a sophisticated car for some sophistication street, but when I'm with you, I can't seem to find my cool. Yeah, when I'm with you, I'm just a dribbling fool. I think sophisticated thoughts, I say sophisticated things. Everything about me says I'm a sophistication king, but when I'm with you, I can't seem to find my cool. Yeah, when I'm with you, I just sit there and I drool. When you look at me and you start to flirt, well, I have to wipe the dribble from the front of my shirt. But when you ask me what's on my mind, all I can think to answer is I eat sophisticated food, I breathe sophisticated air, pass a sophisticated comb through my sophisticated hair. But when I'm with you, I can't seem to find my cool. Yeah, when I'm with you, I nearly fall off my stool. Okay, Soupy Twists now. Soupy Twist one final time. I talk sophisticated balls, I talk sophisticated bunks, I got sophisticated balls and sophisticated junk, but when I'm with you, oh, yeah, when I'm with you, I'm just a dribbling. So